Grassroots project that is releasing all sorts of studies about St. Louis City and St. Louis County, and it's an ongoing conversation we've been having. Their latest study to be released is a study on the public health of the region, and joining us to talk about it is Dr. Will Ross. Doctor, thanks for joining us here on KTRS.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
So give us the bottom line. What does this health report say?
It says that we've already been addressing some amazing ways of collaborating as a region. A lot of people will ask, is this really feasible? Can we entertain a merger or can we entertain any type of shared services to a degree that will make a difference? And this study by the Public Health group is really showing that we're way ahead of the game compared to other states or regions, even in the country, and so we're showing that we can do this.
So you're saying you're saying already existing, we have a very integrated public health system.
It's just remarkable. In the report, we outline a number of the shared services, and there are about 20 that were enumerated, from public health preparedness to shared services for communicable diseases.
Right.
We're doing so much together already. And we're already leveraging the shared services for savings, economic savings for the region. And so we can do this, and the report is just simply outlining a way forward, not just for the public health department, but for the entire region.
Were you surprised by anything in this report?
Well, yes, of course I was surprised by the fact that even though I've been involved with the public health department for many years, I certainly noticed that there were very distinct differences in the funding structures. I think that struck me even more so, that the city actually has a significant amount of its funding from contracts, and the county has its dedicated tax base.
Mm-hmm.
That's a striking change. When you actually have that type of disparity in funding, it puts the city at a disadvantage, because without having dedicated funding, the health department simply cannot engage in long-term planning.
Right.
And that, again, is so fundamental for the function of a health department.
Interesting. Go ahead, Farah.
Dr. Ross, we have pockets of poverty really across St. Louis. Do you think those pockets really do get resources, do get medical care and this public health? Is there some effort on that end?
Yes. Although we have pockets of poverty in the county, and we have pockets of poverty in the city, particularly in the North City, but within each of these areas, the city and the county, the resources really are provided equitably. There is no one area that's missed in terms of providing services for animal control or sexually transmitted infections, or even chronic disease, or even care for the uninsured, with the city contracting to provide care through the Regional Health Commission's Gateway, and the county providing care through their 3 clinics. And so I think both the city and the county have made sure that resources are diffused, are disseminated broadly, so that all regions are sharing equally in those services.
And you really believe those resources are trickling down to the poorest people, who really, in some ways, live in isolation, Dr. Ross?
Yes, I've been there. I've been on the streets. I've walked a lot of streets in the city and the county over the 25 years that I've been doing this. I've sat in meetings and focus groups at 10 o'clock at night. I've heard from people in areas of need that are disadvantaged and vulnerable, and they're saying that we thank you for providing the services. What they're saying is that we need more. It's not like we're not of the resources that are allocated to the city and the county health departments. They're getting to those areas. That's the issue. What we're hearing from the people in those areas is that we just need, that's not sufficient.
You're saying in this report that St. Louis and the region is better than other metropolitan areas?
In terms of actually having an alignment of vision between the city and the county. Now, the city health director and the county health director, Pam Walker and Dolores Gunn, are really good at working together. They've co-chaired reports together. Most recently, the St. Louis Regional Health Commission's decade review of health status.
Mm-hmm.
And so they know each other. They're able to talk about policies.
Right.
And that allows them to collaborate. That allows them to determine how do they allocate resources to the best of their abilities across the region.
Yeah.
That I think is really it is good. It's somewhat unique, and so I think that's a benefit we have.
Yeah, Dr. Will Ross, I only have just a few moments left. Overall, it sounds like you are very happy with this report in that we're doing great things with the resources we do have.
Yes. This is just laying it out. Fundamentally, this is what we're doing. These are the resources that we have. This is the data. It is dispassionate. It is nonpartisan. It is pretty much as how we're operating.
Right.
It's showing that we can operate more efficiently by leveraging more of our time together. But it's clearly showing a path forward. That this is a prototype for how we can function as an entire region.
Yeah, interesting. Where can we find the full report if somebody wants to read it?
Better Together, St. Louis has a full report online.
Have you always worn bow ties, or is this something new?
I've worn bow ties since I was 5 years old.
5 years old?
Yeah. So 50 years of bow ties.
So how did you learn how to tie a bow tie if you didn't watch it on YouTube?
Well, when you had to do this before
The good
church school.
old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Dr. Will Ross, thank you very much.
It was my pleasure.
You got it. Traffic and weather, sponsored by St. Louis Closet